Welcome into another post game on Shorthanded, and if you're not following Nick's picks, you're a fool. He
Mm-hmm.
goes 4-0 again.
Flawless.
I don't know what you're doing in your life that you can't take advantage of this. I don't know why we're not sponsored. Oh, I do know why we're not sponsored. People would own the NHL if they just followed you. I wouldn't sponsor you if I was doing that on my own.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
which game do you want to go over first, since you're the one doing it? And I can't wait for the end of the show when we pick the games tomorrow.
Man.
So let's just start off with which one did you want to highlight right off the bat?
Yeah. Well, first off, we gotta say 3-0 yesterday, 4-4 today. I mean, what else can I do?
Hold
I
on,
mean,
hold
I'm
on.
the king.
Let me do the math real fast. I know I'm a little slow. That's 7-0 for
Oof.
those that are just.
If you're not betting on me, I don't know what you're doing. Because my dad has won a lot of money now because of me.
I can tell you who hasn't won a lot of money. People betting on Brendan. Brendan's picks are garbage. They're not that
man.
great. But that doesn't stop. I'm not stopping. I will.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna keep giving you my 2 cents because I love this game, and I still I go with my gut, and I don't care if it's right or wrong. I'm enjoying all these games. I don't get disheartened.
Exactly.
4 games were on the docket today. What do you want to go with?
So, I mean, first, I just gotta go with the one we just saw, the Stars game. What was that second period about? I mean, that was the most dominant second period I've ever seen in my life. And the fact that they only scored 1 goal, Jake Ottinger is the best goalie I've ever seen. Then they take him out in the third period. I mean, like, seriously, they were like, you know what, Ottinger, you're the only Dallas star playing in that period. We're just going to give you some off time. You can sit on the bench, and we're going to say to everyone, you better start working and doing something because Ottinger's the only Dallas star playing. So, yeah, that game was a complete fool from the Dallas Stars, but I knew it was going to happen because I'm a fortune teller, and I know everything.
I felt that game in my heart and my head. I thought the Avs are just. I think the Avs are better than Dallas in this series. I know me and Todd disagree with you on the series. We'll see how the series picks go, but right now on the games, you're doing great. It's 2-2 now. This game, to me, is the captain's game. When he scored the goal, the snipe, I think it's been like, I can't remember how long of a he's back now, and he's playing. He's playing great. I feel like he's changed the dynamic, the coaching staff. I don't know if you listened to some of the interviews of the coach for the Avs. It just felt like a quiet confidence. Like they knew what they had to do. They just weren't doing it. The other thing is, I think Dallas still only leads the series for like a minute.
Yep, still like a minute.
It's 2-2, and in all reality, the Avs could have swept this thing.
Exactly.
So
it could have been over right now.
At one point, you're the Avs, and you're like, you're not. They didn't beat themselves up for the lost opportunity. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So they came out and they just. If you're at that game for an Avs fan, you got treated, because the captain scores, the roof comes off the building. That you could just see all the teammates too. The love they have for him. It was great. And then the first shutout in his career.
It's crazy. And not like he versed like 47 shots like Ottinger, but still. I mean, congrats to Blackwood. Landeskog went crazy.
I agree with what Dallas did. I think that was a smart move.
Yeah.
I was like, why are we making our goaltender lose any more if our team's not going to play, just put in the backup.
Exactly. He was just staring. He seems staring at the camera. He was like, "Have you seen what I've done for this team? And this is how they repay me." It
wasn't like the game was out of reach. It was 3-0.
No, yeah, it was 3-0, and it was like 2-0 in that period, but it was completely out of reach because the shots were 22-4 in the second period, and that was when I was like, okay, I've won, I can go to sleep now, all my picks are good, and it's just Landeskog, that surprised me.
A little bit dominant, 22-4.
Yeah.
A little bit dominant.
It was like, okay, now it's like 2-0 in the first period. First period, they were showing some heart. They were showing like, okay, they can win this thing. Second period, that's like a nuke on their whole entire franchise. The worst period I've ever seen.
It's not as bad as the Mavs trading Luka, but it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Well, I
definitely.
mean, to your point, we don't need to cover the game much. It was a blowout, and again, all the good vibes are in Colorado as they go on to play Game 5 in Dallas. And if I'm the Avalanche, it's like, keep it up. I still don't think Makar's really found the back of the net a lot. I feel like he's gonna have a game because he's getting opportunities, and he's too good to not have a game. You know what I mean? Like a 4-point game, a 3-point game, where you're just like, he's excellent. Yeah. I don't know.
And McKinnon's having himself a series too.
These guys
crazy.
They just move. There's so much talent. So much talent on the Avs. The next game you want to go over again, that's Nick again, 1-0. He's 4-0 in the game. What was the next one you want to go over?
Ooh, I'm going to go Toronto, Ottawa. That was a crazy game.
I was feeling like we were going to go there. And that you picked the score in this one to be 4-2. And when I watched the third period, close. And it was 3-2, and I was like, oh, man, we're going to get an empty netter, and Nick's going to, like, you know when the coins come out of the slot machine? Like, when the video is like you just hit the sevens? I was like, this is going to happen. Like, Nick's going to be like, I am the king of the world. So it didn't happen the way you thought. Toronto scored 3-3.
That was a good goal.
Go into overtime, and all I could think about is, Ottawa, you cannot lose this. You cannot be swept in overtime. That would be so brutal. Your fans are at home. Everyone's clipping their nails, biting them off, and then they get it done.
Exactly. So when we went into overtime, and then it was the penalty kill. If they did not kill off that penalty, obviously they would have scored and it would be over. But when they killed off that penalty, that was the indicator for me they're not losing for this game. It was like, okay, now they're locked in, and I can't believe they didn't score there. Omar was playing out of his mind. That was he was like all or nothing. He knew what was on the line. He knew that the fans were at home. They were in it to win it, and they weren't losing. I had Fabian Zetterlund to score in that game, and then when Sanderson, he took that shot, I thought Zetterlund tipped it, but he was so close. It was like an inch off the stick, but still, it was a great game. The Stutzel goal was great. I thought Stutzel was going to score, and the way he scored, too. It was a sick goal. Senators, they were bringing the energy. And just that third period goal, they had everyone shifted off to the left, and then Oliver Ekman-Larsson had that shot. That was a tough goal to give up, but it was good that you had some insurance scores. So you brought it into overtime. It was scary in that penalty kill. My heart was dropping whenever anybody touched the puck. It was making my heart race.
It's always good to have insurance, and for those that don't know, Nick's grandfather, my father, Peter Lemieux Agency Insurance sponsors us. He also has his own show called Rounding Third that's just off the charts, and we're products of that man. Hats off to you, Dad. Don't remind people that the extra goal is needed, and always get the extra goal. I thought it was a great fighting game for Toronto. Down 2-0, they tie it up. Down 3-2, they tie it up. Hats off to Toronto. I think they are literally their focus. I know I picked Ottawa, and like I said, we got one. Now we got to get the next one in Game 5. The pressure's on Toronto because if you lose that, you go back to Ottawa, and you're giving that team a lot of hope. So Game 5.
How good is Matthew Nyes? That he is a fast skater. He's underrated, and he's becoming a free agent this summer. I want the Penguins to sign him to a 13-year deal, $700 million, and we're going to the Stanley Cup. That's it.
That's what we're doing. You want. Going the next round. Going the next game.
What game do you want to go to?
I want to go to Florida and Tampa.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, Florida and Tampa is what I want to look at. So I want to just tell you what I thought. So I'm in Arizona. You're obviously in New York. We're 3-hour difference. 10 in the morning, I'm at the ice rink again because my kids play hockey, what have you. It's 1-0 so fast. I'm like, are we seriously? Is this seriously the Lightning? Is this seriously what's going to happen? I'm like already discouraged. And then the doors fly open. And Tampa Bay is like, we are not losing. We're not getting swept. We have too much talent, which we all believe they did. Florida came out and beat them. Your guy had a great game.
Jay Gensel.
Unbelievable game. And
then he almost died.
My favorite thing he said in the post-game interview, they're like, how do you do all these games scoring playoffs? He goes, I learned from
the man, the myth, the legend.
I learned from
Sidney
Sidney
Crosby.
And I was like, yeah, that's a great answer.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't die on that Matthew Tkachuk hit. And he should, if Brandon Hagel's getting suspended for that hit he had, then Matthew Tkachuk should be banned from the NHL. Like, seriously, he passed it. He passed it. Then Jake Gensel had a kid. He was at a barbecue. He was at a wedding. And then Matthew Tkachuk hits him. Yeah, like, all right, come on.
My favorite was the announcers were like, well, we're playing it on slow-mo. Let's play it on regular time. And they're like, well, that did take a while to get the hit.
Yeah.
And then everyone's asking the question, well, does he get suspended? What do you think the league does? Do you think they've suspended for Game 4?
They have to. I hope they do. Because that was dirty. I mean, Gensel was like, you're trying to get me in trouble here? But, because I know he couldn't say anything, but he thinks it was a dirty hit too. Because I don't blame him at all. It's completely late.
I will tell you, I was so... relieved. That's the word I want to use. I was relieved to see Tampa win the way they did. And the reason why is this just... Florida just was at the Cup 2 times in a row. And they just won it. And I love greatness and I love seeing it. But Tampa had such a great year, and they were so out of whack the first 2 games. They didn't even look like themselves. So I was sitting back saying, if this is how they go down, like this is surprisingly shocking. And then also, I was looking at the Eastern Conference. I'm like, who's beating Florida? And I was like, great, Florida's in the Cup again. And I couldn't figure out I couldn't figure out who was stopping them. So I just was already I was weighing all these things and getting worse vibes.
Yeah.
And then Tampa scores and they score and then they're playing good and they're starting to really outpace them. But that was my relief game. That was my Tums moment, if you will. My antacid was pretty bad this morning. I was like, oh, thank God Tampa came out and did their business.
Yeah, because I felt like okay, we're down 2-0. We know what we can do. We know we have Kucherov, and Kucherov stepped up in that game a little bit. We were seeing the push. Braden Point had that goal, which I thought they were getting around Bobrovsky. Like I said, they were getting around in the paint. They were like all up in there. They were bringing the energy, even though they were like away in Florida. They knew what it takes. They know what it takes because they're a playoff team, and they're the best playoff team in the 2020s. So they're not going out like that.
I would say the third goal was the big goal.
Big.
That when it was right at the beginning of the period, 4-on-4 hockey. It was a pass. The goalie didn't know where it was going, and it was the back of the net before he even knew where the puck was, and he lost his stick. It was just like an odd play. But man, what a shot! What a goal! The puck's flipping over, and he puts it up top shelf right over the shoulder. I was like, "This is again. That's why you got him. That's why you draft. That's why that's why you traded for him. That was the moment because again, insurance is the key to hockey. Being up 1 goal is not that great. Being up 2 or 3 feels pretty good, but that doesn't mean you just like let off the gas.
Exactly.
LA Kings. Knock.
King.
Remember that? You had the lead by a goal, and you were like, oh, I think we're good.
Oh, yeah.
You should score more.
Exactly.
You should try to score more.
And you should try to not challenge the most dumb challenge anymore. My gosh.
Thank you for doing it. You helped our picks, or helped Nick's picks. So that's where we're sitting at. And then we go to the last game. Minnesota Wild versus the Vegas Golden Knights. I don't think you had it going to overtime. I don't remember from our show last night. But I felt... what did I feel? I'm wearing my DU gear. So first off, let me go back to DU gear good thing. Logan O'Connell with the shorthanded goal to start the game for Colorado. Denver product, championship winner on the 2017 team. He's already won a cup and an NCAA championship, which is very rare in the world. For those that don't know, look it up. It doesn't happen that often. Then you go to Denver, and Booyam gets his first penalty ever, and it's a double 2-minute because he just basically cuts Stone's forehead.
God, Stone was like, he looked like he was in a war, and he was shot in the eye. Booyam did not care. He took his stick. Oh, wait. I don't know where Stone is. Boom. Killed him.
He missed the stick and got him right in the forehead. It's his first penalty ever. They're ahead 2-1.
There's been a lot of high sticks this boat.
Yeah,
a lot.
A lot of blood high sticks too. Have you noticed that? There's a lot of players going, and Stone had to go get some stitches to get that cleared up. He had to get some bandages on that. It was like he was running out of it, but he was bleeding fast and furious. The head bleeds, everybody. For those of you with children out there, don't freak out, don't panic. The head just bleeds a lot.
Yeah, but then Mark Stone, with a hockey IQ, he sees the two players in front are wrestling on the ground, doing jiu-jitsu, and he's like, okay, I call bank. He shoots it off of them. It gets around Gustafsson. That was a crazy goal. I cannot believe he saw that. And then when he scored, was that after the high stick happened to him or before?
It was 2-1. Was that the first goal you're talking about?
For Mark Stone? Then I think that was before.
Was that the first goal of the game?
No, that one I think was a little bit later.
Then it was after the high stick. I'm looking at the stats right now. Because Stone's goal was the or assist. Are you talking about?
No, the goal, Stone.
I don't have him with a goal. You're talking about the third goal, which was Hurdle got it with the assist from Stone.
There's no way Stone wasn't credited with that.
That's what they have on the box score.
Wait. Then it deflected Thomas Hurdle.
Yep.
That was it.
Yeah, that was they tied it 2-2, and then Minnesota comes back and ties it to make it 3-3, and they go to overtime. And I thought, because I had picked the Wild, I thought this was the one I was going to get. I was hoping they would go up 3-1. I wanted to see Vegas Knights on the ropes at home. And then, again, what did I say? What did I say the other night? Vander Kane with a dirty goal. That was a dirty goal, and it was brilliant. It was brilliant. His reaction, he saw the chaos in front of the net. He went, popped it right over the goaltender, ends the game. Nothing you can do. Call it a day. You're going back to Vegas 2-2. If you're Minnesota, you're excited about that because you're in the series. And if you're Vegas, you're super stoked about 2-2.
Oh yeah, I saw in that game they were kind of what Tampa Bay had in Game 3 today too. I saw they were both kind of like they were both down, and they're both like, okay, we're like the best team in here. I'm gonna show you what we can do, and then they stepped up. I liked what they did. I like how they were moving the puck around, and it was much better. Aiden Hill did great. The goaltenders in this playoffs, best goaltending I've ever seen. I mean, in every single game, they're outstanding. Aiden Hill played his mind out. He saved them a couple times. There's a bunch of breakaways that he stopped. And then that goal, I thought Riley Smith was going to score it. He got the assists. Barbashev just poked it in. There's nothing Gustafsson could really do. And then that ended it. Now they're going back to Vegas tied up. That's going to be great. I think Vegas is going to be going crazy.
This has always been my analogy about hockey. There's something about getting a couple wins in the playoffs. That's okay. That's nice. Like 2-2. We have a couple series that are 2-2. Ending a team's season, like ending their season, is so difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think people understand. Like if you were going to ask me what is the hardest thing to do in all of sports, I would say it's ending an NHL team's season. It's a 7-game series, and the fourth win that you get, it may just be climbing the highest peak that you've ever had. Because that team that you're playing is giving it everything.
Exactly. You saw in that Ottawa game. They were all out.
So what do you think Ottawa's going to give the next one? The same thing.
Everything.
And then if you're ahead 3-1 and you're like, oh, maybe I want to get a couple cute goals. Maybe you got to get messy to finish a team off.
And Toronto's famous for not ending those series off. So I am worried for Toronto.
I think Toronto fans are worried. Like I told you, all you got to do is get one. They got one. So here we go. We got series. This is what we have. Just like we thought. Stars and Avs are 2-2. We said it's going to be a 7-game war. We said that series is going to be incredible. It's been everything we've thought and then some. Senators, Maple Leafs, that's the only one that Maple Leafs had a chance. But here we go. Again, the Maple Leafs have a chance to close out. Good luck closing out. They've always struggled with the closeout. They've done it for the last couple years. The Golden Knights and Wild are 2-2. we did not think that was
Did not think the Wild were going to do anything. But then they showed us we're only a wild card team because we were injured. Now Kaprizov's back. We'll show you.
And now the Battle of Florida is the Battle of Florida. If Tkachuk gets suspended, you go to Game 4 without Tkachuk. And guess what? Tampa Bay's got their vibes again. They're feeling good. So we got some series here. And again, and I keep saying this over and over, hockey's fantastic.
Exactly.
If you turn on one of these games, you're getting a treat. And if you watch the Avs game and you're like, man, the Dallas Stars didn't really show up. The Avs were boiling over. I can't even imagine how you must feel to have that much, to be ahead that much in that playoff series and to only have one win. So they were like, we're going to pour it on. So here we go. We're going to Sunday. So for those that don't know, this is the part of the show where you want to record. You want to watch. You may want to go to one of your favorite entities that allows gambling in your state. Now that everyone does it pretty much. We have 4 games on the docket. I'm going to go right down from the beginning to the end. You have the Winnipeg Jets versus the St. Louis Blues in St. Louis. Who do you have?
Well, these first 2 games might be a little biased for me, so I kind of want to go to the end first because these 2 might be biased for me.
So you want to start at the end of the night, the Kings versus the Oilers.
Now, this game's going to be good. I want to talk about this game. So, Oilers coming off of a thriller last game. It was crazy, the challenge, whatever. Now the Kings are coming off of that game. What are they thinking? What are they thinking coming off of that game? Okay, we had a dumb challenge, a dumb couple of mistakes, but it was still close. The series is not close to over for Edmonton. It's gonna be close. This game too. Edmonton's at home, but man, it's tough. You don't want to give the Kings that 3-1 lead going into LA. So Edmonton's gonna be fighting, really fighting. So I'm gonna give it to Edmonton.
You got Edmonton winning this one. So my heart says Edmonton. My head says Edmonton. I feel like they're just on the back end of... And the Kings, I believe... Edmonton needs to stop a power play. Let's just start with there. They need to stop a power play. They don't stop a power play, that's bad. So I'm picking the team that can't stop a power play because they haven't. But Edmonton's power play is back. So I feel like they're kind of on that trajectory of figuring it out. So I, heart and head, say Edmonton. So I agree with you. The next game. The Washington Capitals, which just to put a little thing on here, Nick hates them, and the Montreal Canadiens. This is the second game at home. Who do you have? This is after Montreal beat them 6-3.
Yep. So just a little clarification: do they have Logan Thompson back or no?
That is some very good information. Let's see what they say about Logan Thompson. I would imagine that they're not going to say anything until the game.
Yeah, that's like a game time decision, and that's huge. So you don't want to go in completely until if Logan Thompson's back. Let's say he's not back for now. Let's say Charlie Lindgren's going in because it looked really bad, that injury, and I don't believe he's going to be going back in. So now, like what I said yesterday, they came in hot. Montreal, the fans were buzzing, everyone was going crazy. You felt the energy. You knew they were going to win that game, but now you come down in this game. You see us have to shape out, and it's going to shape out the rest of the series. It's going to shape out everything, Game 5, Game 6, Game 7, and I believe it's going to go to 7. But this game we're talking about, if Charlie Lindgren plays, I believe it's going to go to the Canadians. Montreal's going to win it if Charlie Lindgren plays. If Logan Thompson plays, it's another story. It's going to be closer, but I'm going to take the Canadians in this one.
I don't think it matters, but I don't think Logan Thompson is playing. I think Montreal ties the series.
Yeah.
I feel after that last game in the whooping of 6-3, I just feel like Washington is going to try to get out of there and hope that their goaltender's okay. They're not going to reveal what's happening, but I don't think he's going to play. The fact that they're not commenting yet, I don't have a single story other than the coach saying I don't know and I won't know till basically game time. You're not putting your goalie in. Like I said the other day, you're gonna keep him out. You're up 2-1. There's no reason to risk it, and you already know. They already know if he's playing right now. They already know what they have, and they're not going to release it till game time. Because why would you tell Montreal you get another goal?
Exactly.
Why would you say anything? I wouldn't say a thing. I'd keep everything in a safe. I'd lock it away. I wouldn't say anything. So usually when you play with your goaltender has to prove something, but I could see Washington playing out of their mind. But I just feel like the fans, Montreal, what they got, I would agree with you. So I'm 2 for 2 with agreeing with Nick. I like the fact that you go first. It makes me feel smarter because if I just stop disagreeing with you, I think I made you all right.
Yeah, also, I want to add one thing. How Montreal was playing last game, it comes off of this game very well. Like, they were good at absorbing hits and not getting knocked off of their feet a lot. Like, even if it happened sometimes, they were good at, like, absorbing that energy and bringing it into the stadium, showing them what they got. So, yeah, Montreal.
I would agree with you, and I think I again, if they were down 3-0, I would pick Montreal. But if they were in the Wild situation, like if Montreal was up 2-1, I'd be probably going the other way. I feel like Washington is definitely still the team to beat here. But 2-2 is what I have. Let's go to the other game, Hurricane, and the Hurricanes are playing the Devils.
So, I'm going to be attending this game.
For those that don't know, Nick, due to his sponsorships of this program, he's got box seats. He gets to get, top tier because again, this is what
I'm a celebrity.
When you pick him. When you pick him
Exactly.
the way Nick does, people want to treat you because again, he makes you do very well. So you get to go to this game. You're going to New Jersey. I apologize for that. You're going to their stadium. I apologize for that. I hope you're going to be okay. You get to watch Carolina and New Jersey in a series that I am less than excited about. But, hey, you get to watch hockey, and I don't blame you for that.
Exactly. So, New Jersey, Carolina. We're in New Jersey. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be cheering for the Devils. It's home, and I think New Jersey's going to win. I'm just going to say that to start it off. But now, it was a close game yesterday, and if it was in Carolina, then I think Carolina would have won. But now that I'm there, I think I'm going to bring so much energy to there that New Jersey's going to be stunned. Like, who's this kid in the crowd that's, like, absolutely telling us to win or we're going to die? But I think Dougie Hamilton has to step up and put these pucks in the net. If Timo Meier doesn't get a hat trick, I'm going to freak out because I need them to finish on all these opportunities. Like I said, they need to score at least 7 because those are the opportunities that they've been having. So, with the energy here, and now that they're going back to Carolina in the next one, they don't want to be down 3-1 because then they're done. So, I'm going to take New Jersey here, finish on those opportunities, tie the series up, then you can lose the series.
This is where I disagree with you. I have not felt the Devils all series. I picked the Devils to lose Game 3. I will pick them to lose Game 4. I will pick them to lose Game 5. If they keep going, I'm just going to keep picking them to lose. This is how I doubled down on my chips. I was 2-0, and then I lost my first one. Nope. I'm back in it. I'm betting on Carolina. I think Carolina wins this one.
All right.
I think they're the better team. Best of luck. Don't lose your voice. We may need you to evaluate things at the end of the night. The last one. And my favorite, because my heart and my head align again, like it did with the Avs. St. Louis and Winnipeg. Game 4 in St. Louis. Who do you have?
Now, this game, like everything in my heart wants Winnipeg to win and go back to Winnipeg and win it and just move on. I had them in 6th originally, but the way St. Louis played last game, it's a really, like, landslide that makes me want to pick St. Louis. But I picture these games in my head, and what my fortune brain is telling me, that they're going to have some nasty shots on goal. And they're not going to get whacked around like they did last game, and I think that was an embarrassment of the President's Trophy. And I know there's a curse on the President's Trophy, but still, you cannot let that happen to your team. That was horrible. You made Hellebuck look horrible. And even though he wasn't playing his best that game, 7 goals, that can't just be on him. It's on the defense too. So now I think the coach, they told them, you have to shapen up. And St. Louis is going to come in, but they're going to come in too confident. And so I'm going to take Winnipeg in here.
You have Winnipeg beating them.
Yes, sir.
Well, it's the first game of the day. I'm disagreeing with you on the first game of the day.
Hey, you could be done.
I guess I did it yesterday too. I picked Florida, and I lost at the very beginning. But I was relieved because I wanted Tampa. I want St. Louis. I picked St. Louis to upset Winnipeg. I love everything about what St. Louis is doing. Their forecheck is the most violent in the NHL. If they keep that up, and I believe they can, all 3 games they've done that. So again, I don't see Winnipeg changing this. I see St. Louis just coming out like they're trying to burn your village. They're trying to kill everyone. they're trying to siege to your land. I feel that when I watch St. Louis play. I feel like this is what it would feel like if the Vikings showed up in my house. I would be dead, and then all my belongings would be sold online, or they would just burn everything, because I feel like they're that rowdy right now. So I have St. Louis winning this. So to recap, Nick has the Jets, the Devils, the Canadiens, and the Oilers. So he has one road team, which is the Jets, and the rest are the home teams. I have the Blues. I have the Hurricanes. Home, then road. Then I have the Canadiens at home, and I have the Oilers at home. Those are our picks. I hope you enjoy them. That is Nick. I am Brendan. That's our post recap. Hockey's great. Keep watching it. We're shorthanded because we are. And we're brought to you by Batter Sports, Lemieux Insurance Agencies, and as always, the kid gets the box seats because the kid makes you money.
I'm him.
Have a great night. Thank you so much. Bye now.
Of course. See ya.